Will Chelsea have to go with a false 9 up front again against Watford on Monday because Olivier Giroud might not be fit to start the game and Alvaro Morata is still out injured? Watch the whole video to find out. Hello there guys and welcome back to 100% Chelsea for my preview of the Watford versus Chelsea game taking place on Monday evening with the kickoff being at 8 PM UK time, obviously at Vicarage Road. And getting straight into it, speaking about our opposition, Watford. They currently sit in 11th with 27 points from 25 games, but they're still just 4 points above the relegation zone after winning 7 games, drawing 6 and losing 12. They've scored a decent amount of goals with 33, but they've conceded a lot with 44 goals. They did have a very good start to the season, to be fair, and if I remember correctly, when we first played them back in October, they were in the top 6 I think, but ever since that game they've only won 3 games in the Premier League and none since Boxing Day. Only 2 weeks ago they then sacked their manager Marco Silva and appointed the Spanish manager Javi Gracia to replace him. The last 5 games included 2 defeats, 2 draws and 1 win, but that win came against Bristol City in the FA Cup. Over the transfer window they actually brought in 3 players, including winger GIROUD on loan from Barcelona, central midfielder Didier Ndong on loan from Sunderland, and 20-year-old winger Dodi Lukebakio on a permanent deal from the Belgian league. Watford usually go with either a 4-2-3-1 or 4-3-3, but we'll have to wait and see whether their new manager will, like a lot of other teams have done, change their formation to a 3 at the back to suit playing against us. They have a fair few danger men that we definitely have to watch out for, to be fair. Midfielder Doucouré has already got 7 goals this season. Andre Gray is always a danger with his pace. Richarlison is a very good player, even though his performances have dropped quite drastically as of late, to be honest. And also new arrival Deulofeu is certainly a very, very dangerous player. Now coming to Antonio Conte's press conference, and when he was asked how soon we'll see Olivier Giroud and Emerson Palmieri play for Chelsea, Conte said that we have to be careful with both of them. Emerson has just come back from a long-term injury, only played 1 game for Roma since his return, and also Giroud has just come back from an injury, a muscular injury that has kept him out for 50 days. And since returning from that literally last week, he only played 15 minutes for Arsenal against Swansea on Tuesday. Conte also confirmed that he asked the club for a Giroud-type player, a target man. That wasn't a secret, we knew that, but it was a little bit surprising to me, to be fair, to hear him confirm it. And also he said that he and the club expect Giroud to help the team a lot. On Emerson, he said he is a young player with not that much experience. He only played last season for Roma really, but he did play very well last season, Conte said. But he did go on to saying that it's great that we have another good left wing-back option, and he says whoever deserves to play will play, and that is, counts for all positions. Then he spoke about team news and he did confirm that Alvaro Morata is still out with a back injury. He hopes to have him back soon, but didn't put a time frame on his return. Then speaking about Andreas Christensen's injury, that he obviously picked up against Bournemouth, obviously that hamstring injury. Conte said the first clinical examination was positive, but he will for sure miss the Watford game. Let's hope though, that's me saying that, this positive examination suggests that his injury isn't that serious and he'll be back playing very soon. Adding to that, Conte said that he still has to check up on a few situations, but wouldn't specify which players he's talking about. You'd assume he's speaking about David Luiz and Willian and a few others maybe, who obviously David Luiz and Willian were or are out injured, but what he did say that might suggest that, they might be close to being back to 100%. Obviously, it's difficult with the press conference being on Friday and the game being on Monday. A lot can change. Over the weekend, players can recover. Players can even get injured. Later on, Conte actually said that we still have to see about Giroud's physical condition and that it won't be easy to see him in the starting 11 on Monday. When asked if there is a temptation to rush him back because of Morata being out injured, he said Willian might be able to play and start against Watford. That suggests we might very well see Hazard start as the false 9 again, but hopefully at least with Willian next to him and Giroud only, come on during the game. The boss said we didn't perform well against Bournemouth for many reasons. Conte even predicted that it would be a difficult game in his pre-match press conference ahead of the Bournemouth game. And even I said if Batshuayi is loaned out by the time we play Bournemouth, with the injuries we had as well, we would struggle, and we did. But of course, I did not expect it to be as bad as it obviously turned out to be. And the last bit of the press conference, there have actually reports been coming out that Conte might return to the Italian national team job in the summer. But Conte said he still has 18 months remaining on his contract at Chelsea and his desire is to respect that contract, and said maybe, the people from the Italian FA kind of forgot about that. His contract still being 18 months. That was then it from the press conference, and now speaking about Chelsea and the possible lineup. Well, like I said before, it's Friday and the game is on Monday, so it's not easy at all to predict the team now because we can't be sure who'll be available. Assuming Giroud isn't yet ready to play more than maybe 30 minutes after just returning from injury, we're gonna have to go with a false 9 again, as much as I don't really want to. If, and I say if, Luiz is fit to start, which I doubt, I can accept 3 at the back. But if he's not, in my opinion, we simply have to go 4 at the back. Because Cahill as the central centre-back, as seen against Bournemouth, just clearly doesn't work. And then you could go either Azpilicueta as left-back and Rudiger as right-back, or Moses at right back or Zappacosta or whoever. But Cahill is the central centre back in the back three. Even though he worked for 1 or 2 games already this season, against Bournemouth it was just found out completely, and he just couldn't handle it. And it's not a position he's used to, so as much as criticism has to go to him for making mistakes, it's still a different position, and it's not that easy to just play in a different position, just be thrown into it basically. And also I'd start Fabregas, no matter if we go 3-4-3 or 3-5-2 or 4-3-3 or whatever. We aren't creating enough chances at the moment, and Bakayoko is costing us goals as well. So even on the defensive side of things, he's not playing that much better than Fabregas would. I mean, look at the first goal we conceded on Wednesday. How can Bakayoko lose the ball like that? I mean, yes, shit happens, I understand that, but still, it shouldn't happen, It should not happen. But what I think Antonio Conte will go for is this. 3-4-3 formation, Thibaut Courtois in goal, Cesar Azpilicueta and Gary Cahill as the central centre-back, with Antonio Rudiger as the left-sided centre-back, Marcos Alonso and Victor Moses the 2 wing-backs, N'Golo Kante next to Bakayoko as the 2 central midfielders, and then Pedro, Hazard and Willian up front. If Willian isn't fit, it wouldn't even surprise me if we started Barkley there again, although in that case we might actually rush Giroud back, maybe if we had to that desperately, because if we don't start Giroud or Willian, it's basically the same team that was on the pitch once Christensen came off, that's played against Bournemouth, and that really didn't go well. So why would we do that same thing again? So maybe we'd have to rush Giroud back if there's any chance of, him being capable of playing, say 60 or 70 minutes. Emerson Palmieri, I think he'll be on the bench, but I doubt that he'll actually feature for Chelsea before we face Hull City in the Cup 2 weeks from now. And what can I really say? Be more adventurous, start says Fabregas, but I very much doubt we will. Press them as high as possible so they can't press us, because that's what we're struggling with the most at the moment. And basically, we have to hope for the front three, if we start a false 9, to do some magic and get more goals than Watford will. It sounds depressing, but I'm going to have to be honest and say that's the reality at the moment. Because we will have had a fair few days of rest since Wednesday until we play on Monday. I'm confident that we will get the win. Also because Watford's form has been poor as well. But I don't expect to see a great performance by Chelsea, if I'm honest. But I'm not going to go for a score prediction again. I didn't for Newcastle and we won 3-0. Then I did for Bournemouth and we lost 3-0. Like I said for the Newcastle game as well, it could be anything from a big defeat over a draw to a big win. It could literally be anything. I mean, I am confident that we're going to win, but just because I'm confident really doesn't mean anything. Literally, a score prediction could go either way, and I don't know. I don't feel drawn to any real score prediction so I could really give you one. So I'm not going to do that. But please do leave me your score predictions down in the comment section below, as well as your predicted lineups and any other thoughts you have. Leave all of that down in the comment section below. Leave a like if you did enjoy this video. Don't forget to check out my social media with this last 1507 on both Instagram and Twitter. As you can see over here, I'd massively appreciate it if you could follow me over there. Also, don't forget to subscribe to 100% Chelsea if you haven't already. We're getting closer and closer to hitting the 50,000 subscribers mark. So if you haven't already, please subscribe. We'd massively appreciate that. Thank you guys for watching. Up the Chelsea. And I'll see you next time.